Good morning, Indu.
Wow,
Yes.
that's so
Morning.
wonderful.
Morning, everyone.
Feeling excited to see so much energy in the room. Very excited. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As all we know that today we are going to discuss about assertive communication. Our topic is assertive communication. Why assertive communication is so important, and how to be more assertive to say what we want to say. Because when we speak assertively, people listen us. People follow us. Okay, so let's get started and empower our voice with assertive communication.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Indu.
Yeah.
Please allow me to introduce, share some, few words about our institution. So very good morning to everyone. I welcome you all. I'm Preeti, one of the sales specialists at Protos Professional Training. Before we start, let me give you a quick overview about us. Protouch is a certification institute which provides upskilling courses to the professionals like HR generalists, HR analytics advanced certification program, POSH trainer to deliver POSH trainings, business analytics for manager certification, corporate trainer and facilitator trainer certification, as well as certified practitioner coach certification. We also provide customized programs. So all the programs are accredited by the topmost bodies like SHRM, HRCI, CPT, and IVEC. I'm so glad to see so many existing participants, team members, and aspiring students of ProTouch who have joined this learning session. I would like to ask you a question, which is very simple. What do you mean by assertive communication? You can please put your answers on the chat box, and I'll be taking right up to. What do you mean by assertive communication? You can please put your answer in the chat box. It will be my privilege to take the answers from your end. It can be anything. It can be in one line, just your thought. What do you mean by assertive communication? Dr. Satyadev has mentioned inherent ability. Thank you so much. Utkarsh has mentioned expressing your point. That's really nice. Thank you so much. Shomi has mentioned ability to speak and interact. That's really nice to know from you, Shomi. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Lavanya has mentioned communication in an appropriate way. Thank you so much, Lavanya. Bhavna has mentioned communication in clear way. Absolutely correct. Andre has mentioned direct communication. Astha has mentioned expressing your thoughts. Umang has mentioned expressing our thoughts along with respecting someone's thought. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Umang. Shubham has mentioned expressing your thoughts clearly and with confidence. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your views, your thoughts. Now let's begin our learning session with Dr. Satyadev, Indu, and Chetna, our guest speaker of today morning. Coming into the profile of Dr. Satyadev is a corporate trainer holding more than 30 years of experience in customer relations, whereas Indu was a journalist. Now she has moved from journalism to corporate training, holding more than 10 years of experience in impacting hundreds of lives, collaborating to ignite growth and success through storytelling and effective strategies. Last but not the least, Chetna is an experienced learning and development specialist in English language, soft skills training, and campus to corporate training, holding more than 6+ years of experience in the same domain. It's our honor to have Dr. Satyadev, Indu, and Chetna today morning. Over to you, Indu.
Thank you so much, Preeti, for giving so lovely introduction. And you have already conducted a wonderful activity that every audience, each and every audience could participate and throw a lot of words regarding assertive communication, that should be expressive, confident, clear, polite, so many words. That's so wonderful. And thank you so much. We really expect your active participation, such enthusiasm, such energy throughout the webinar. So can you all cheer up for yourself once, please?
Thanks.
Thank you so much. So now I'll hand over it to Dr. Satyadev, and then we'll come again. Over to you, Dr. Satyadev.
Hi, friends. I am Dr. Satyadev. Very good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Our today's topic of presentation is empower our voice by mastering in assertive communication. Next slide, please. If we see this quotation quoted by Nat Turner, good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Every communication is ended with clarity. Every single disagreement can be fixed if both the parties communicate clearly. Let us go for assertiveness. Next slide, please. Friends, we know that assertiveness is our inherent ability to express our thoughts, feelings, needs, rights in a clear-cut and confident manner in a respectful way, without being aggressive nature or without being passive nature. You know, one example, instead of saying no directly to other person bluntly, we can say in a assertive nature, thanks for thinking of me, but I am going to say no this time. Okay, friends, with a little knowledge of this, what is the need for assertiveness in our day-to-day life? Can anybody say, please respond through chat box? Can anybody say, please respond through chat box? Please feel free. Responding is a step for learning. Okay. To communicate properly. Excellent. Let us conclude this in very simple terms. The assertiveness helps us better to manage ourselves, to manage the people in and around us, and to manage the situations being happened in our life from time to time. Friends, you know that we are having some assertive rights derived from our Indian Constitution, along with the fundamental rights like right to speak. Can anybody respond one or two of these assertive rights given by our Constitution? Please respond. Article 19. As per the Article 19, fundamental rights are given. What are the assertive rights? Types of assertive right to speak. Right to speak is the fundamental right. As a subsidiaries, there are around 10 assertive rights we are having. What they are, let me say. The right to say no, freedom to speech and expression. Okay. Thank you. Let us summarize. The right to say no, the right to tell others how you wish to be treated, the right to say, I do not understand, the right to say, taking some reasonable time before expressing your opinion, the right to deny the proposal put up by the other people without feeling guilty, the right to take independent decisions in our personal matters. Okay, friends, let us go to next slide. Friends, you all know that the communication is the act of simply transferring information from one person to another, either by way of verbal, either by way of non-verbal, or in written format. It is simple thing. But the crux of this subject, today's presentation is, please go to next slide. Communication styles. We all know that there are 4 communication styles. One is the passive. Second is the aggressive. Third is the passive aggressive. And the last and the important one is the assertive. Can anybody say a few words regarding these four styles? Can anybody say? Okay, I will sum up. In the style of passive communications, the individuals develop an attitude of avoiding their feelings, their thoughts, their rights, their needs. As a result, they do not respond to hurtful and anger-inducing situations. If you go for example, these people will tell always, you proceed, I will follow. You are more senior to me, you decide, I will agree, like this. If we go to aggressive style of individuals, these individuals educate their needs, rights, feelings, thoughts, etc. in a manner that violates the rights of the other people. As a result, what is happening? These aggressive people are verbally, physically abusive and very often hurt the other people. If you go for example, everyone has to follow me, I will decide, like a dominating character. Whatever you can say, I will do like this. These are the examples. If we go to passive aggressive communication, in this style, the individuals are not directly exposing their negative emotions instead of openly addressing them. As a result, what is happening in this style? There is a large disconnect between what the person behavior is showing and what the person is doing. The examples in this style is dragging the work very poorly, intentionally dragging the work very poorly, hiding their opinions or information like that. The last one is assertive communication. We all know in this style, the individuals will deliver their knowledge, needs, etc. in a clear and confident manner, in a respectful way. But there are 3 C's of this assertive style. Please, next. Confidence, clear, control. The assertive people will trust on their strength. Trust on their strength to deal with any situation. The message delivered by the assertive people, assertive communicating people, is a clear and easy to understand. The communication delivered by this assertive communication people are calm and controlled manner. The examples of assertive communication is, I will respect your opinion, but we decided not to agree with disagree. Unfortunately, another example is, unfortunately, and don't have some time to do more work at this manner, like that. By seeing all of these 4 assertive styles, communication styles, assertive communication is considered as the most effective one and very diplomatic one, and is recommended for workplace environment. Okay, friends, with a little knowledge, I will recap what I have till now speedily. We have known about the assertiveness, example, need of the assertiveness, communications, types of communication, communication styles, types of communication styles with examples like that. Friends, with a little bit of knowledge with all these, let us do one situational analysis. Simple situational analysis. You are standing in a long line in a banking hall. Someone else pushes in front of you. How will you respond in a assertive nature? How we will respond to him in an aggressive nature? Please raise your hands for answers. Little bit answers. Later we can sum up. Charts. Okay, I will sum up. Aggressive communication. Okay, Somi Sharma has given the aggressive communication. If you dealt with the person in an aggressive nature, what are the repercussions? Okay, I will sum up it. If you dealt that person in an aggressive nature, like grab him on the shoulder and shout him loudly, why you have joined here? You are supposed to go back to the back of the line. Perhaps the other person will shout at you and the situation will become very worse and you will be landed in troublesome and you will be landed in a bad moodness. If you tackle the situation in assertive nature, like gently touch him on the shoulder with a clear and specified words, excuse me, there is a long line. You are supposed to join at the end of the line. Immediately that person positively respond to you by saying apologize to you and join at the end of the line. Everything goes smooth. Okay, friends, let us know. I will pass on to our batchmate Chatana to have a deep in this subject.
Thank you so much, Dr. Satyadev, for making everybody understand what exactly assertive communication is. Guys, if you're clear with what assertive communication is, give me a thumbs up in the chat box, please. A thumbs up in the chat box if you have understood what assertive communication is. Okay, great. Okay, so now we have understood what assertive communication is, and it is also a part of the 4 different styles, as Dr. Satyadev has said. Okay, there is passive aggressive, there is aggressive and assertive. And in this webinar, we are only going to focus on aggressiveness versus assertiveness. Okay. Though Dr. Satyadev was already explained that what is aggressiveness, still I would like to know what, according to you, is assertiveness? Aggressiveness, I'm sorry. What is aggressiveness? If somebody could unmute and tell me what.
Okay, so when you answer anyone without listening to him or her, that can be a little bit aggressive communication. And sometimes overcoming anyone's thought or influencing without knowing his or her want or thoughts, that can be a little bit aggressive communication.
Okay, okay, noted. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Maybe answering rudely and without even understanding the situation, just jumping to conclusions and talking in a rude manner.
Yes. Talking in a rude manner, jumping onto the conclusions, and not listening to the other person. Now let's deep dive into why that happens. Why people are aggressive, or sometimes we become aggressive and we don't know the reason for it, and we think, I was just communicating normally, I was just putting forward my point, I was being assertive. Why people think that I'm rude? Assertiveness is something when you put your point forward. When I do that, people think I'm rude. What is the reason behind it? Let's understand that. So let's understand the basic difference. Aggressiveness is when you attack somebody in order to protect yourself. Okay. Assertiveness is that you know what you want and you're ready to listen to the other person. You're getting my point. So when we want to sound like somebody who takes stands for ourselves, and in order to do that, we attack the other person so that we sound somebody who can speak. And on the other hand, assertiveness is something which is very calm, which is very confident. These two things will help you better understand the difference between the two. Aggressiveness leads to debates, and assertiveness leads to dialogues. Is it clear? Shall we move ahead? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Great. Okay. Now, from this webinar, one message that I want you all to take away with you is deliver your message clearly without an emotional noise. Let's say something happened to you and you were not given your right. Then you will add your emotion into it. That emotion can be anger, that can be frustration, that can be irritation. Okay, when you add your emotional noise into it, the clarity of the message goes away. All the focus comes on to your emotion that you have added and not the message actually that you want to deliver. Is it clear? Make sense? Yes or no? Is it clear?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
It's clear.
Okay, great. Okay, so now we have understood that how aggressiveness can be bad and what can be the reason for being aggressive. Now let's understand that how to shift the focus from being aggressive to actually being assertive. So aggressive sentences always starts with you. You did wrong to me. You took the credit of my presentation. Or let's say my boss took the credit of my presentation. Whereas assertive sentences starts with I. Let's have a look on some examples. Instead, the next time when you are going to have a communication, or when internally you are feeling very agitated or very angry, do not communicate at that particular point. But if you have to, or the later on you are communicating, make sure that you're not saying you hurt me. You say I feel hurt, which is more assertive. See how the focus shifts. Instead of blaming the other person and bringing your emotion into it, you're being very clear and you're talking about your own self, something of which you have the control. You are wrong. Instead of that, you can say, I don't agree. So see how the clear line it creates between the two things. You don't care. You can say, I feel ignored. You are so unfair. You can say, I am treated unfairly. Okay, so let's move on to some practice of assertive sentences. I'm going to give you some incomplete sentences which are assertive, and you need to complete those sentences so that we understand, and you can also take those sentences away with you and you can utilize them for your next communication. Yeah, I have a different opinion. I think that if anyone could come up with a situation and complete this sentence. Anybody who can come up with this situation where you can utilize this sentence and you can come up with a complete sentence. You can complete this sentence.
I have a different opinion. I think that there are some points which we can agree to.
Okay, makes sense. So Girija has also written, I think we should try this also. Exactly, absolutely correct. Instead of saying that you are wrong or whatever the point that you have presented that is not worthy, you can say, I have a different opinion. I think we should try this instead. Next sentence. Okay, let's agree to disagree on this and move on. Tell me the situation and how you can utilize this sentence.
When they are like continuously, we are blaming each other in some situations. So we should conclude that let agree to disagree and let's move on to other things. Likewise.
Exactly. Let's say if the other person is not agreeing with you, it's not necessary to make the other person agree on what you agree. Just leave it over there. Leave the burden of that. Let's agree to disagree on this and move on. Okay. I like that when you said, what can be the situation and where you can utilize this sentence?
When something like we feel very happy by our heart, so at that time we can use the sentence like, I liked it when you said that we are going out for some like picnic and
yeah, thank you very much, Utkarsh. So rightly said. So why I've put this point? I have another sentence as well, which is I liked it when you did. So I would go with the same explanation that Utkarsh has given us. So why I've kept these two sentences? If you are not blaming somebody by using the you sentences, you can also praise somebody by using the I sentences. Right? I liked it when you said this. So you are keeping all the onus on yourself that I am the one who liked this. I am the one who liked the fact that you did something for me. So instead of you giving in a compliment, you can also use I in giving compliments. You can completely shift the way you interact. Next, I have decided not to. Think of a situation where you can utilize this sentence. When someone says,
I've decided not to take this matter further into a turn before it turns ugly.
Exactly. I have decided, absolutely correct. I have decided to not continue with this conversation. I think I have said my part. So when let's say somebody is not, somebody is being mean to you in a conversation, you are not agreeing with somebody and you just want to cut it short. Instead of blaming the other person, you can say it this way, I have decided not to. Okay. So 2-3 big takeaways in terms of sentences that I want you all to use in your conversation is, I have a different opinion. Start with that. And I think that. Let's agree to disagree on this. Let's accept the fact that we cannot agree on every topic. I liked it when you said or did, and I have decided not to. Okay. Shall we move ahead? Is it okay? Have we guys understood?
yeah.
Okay. When my siblings asked for a TV remote, I have decided not to give it to you. Yeah, you can utilize that, being assertive in the homely environment. Okay. Now I would like to call Indu to take forward this communication style self-assessment sheet. Indu, over to you.
Thank you so much, Chetna, and thank you, Dr. Satyadev, explaining things so well. So now we all have learned many important things about our communication styles and different example of assertiveness. Okay, but let's check ourselves. So this is the time to have a reality check where we stand in our communication style. What the kind of communication style we carry and what we do when such situation occurs in our life at our workplace. Okay, so everybody can see this communication style self-assessment sheet. Give me thumbs up. Everybody can see that? Okay, so in this we have 10 questions and you have to give numbering from 1 to 5. 1 for less assertiveness, 5 for more assertiveness, and in between you can give any number. Please be honest while you are filling this, like how you really react or respond in such situations. So these are some 10 questions. Please fill them between 1 to 5 and then count. Count your score and keep it with yourself. Once you have done, then give me thumbs up or write down in the chat box. So your time starts now. 1 minute only. So once you fill the sheet, count your score and write done in the chat. So we can move on. Okay, first, I want to see some more done. Please come up with some more done. 1 minute has completed. All right. So want to be the scores? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So most of us have done this. So now let's come to the interpretation part. We really want to know what's our score, right? Next slide, please. So now you can check your score. If your score between 15 to 25 means our communication style is more passive. And about passiveness, about passive communication style, Dr. Satyadev have already explained, shared examples. So there is much room for improvements, for growth. And if you score between 26 to 40, you have a balanced communication style, but you are not assertive all the time. In some situation, you speak assertively. In some situation, you do. It totally depends on the situation or with some particular feature. So there are also a lot of room for improvement, for growth. And if you score between 41 to 50, you demonstrate a strong assertiveness, assertive communication style. Keep practicing to maintain and enhance your skill. Okay, and don't let your ego come. And now you must be thinking, okay, my score is not good. It means I'm less assertive and I'm an average person. I can't speak what I want to speak. And when you have something to say in your heart, and when you are not able to share your feelings, your expression, and your point in front of anyone or in front of the meetings and in front of your boss, you really feel so happy and you feel so stressed. So now the point, how to improve it? How to improve it? So let's come to the very most important part, and that's assertive communication techniques. So let's come to the next slide, where we learn a lot of important assertive communication techniques. Next slide, please. Yeah. First, use I sentence or I statements. The Chetna already beautifully explained everything about I statement. So let's move further. Practice active listening. We have to check that how active we are in listening, because sometimes we are only in auto mode. We just listen to reply, and we just listen what we want to interpret, what we want to understand. So let's check it with a wonderful fun activity. So are you ready? Are you ready for the fun activity? Show me thumbs up, guys. Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now sit upright. Please sit upright. And what we need to do, when I say right, you have to turn your neck in the right direction. When I say left, you have to turn left. When I say up, you have to see up. And when I say down, you have to see down. Clear? Clear? Okay. So everybody, please do that. Start. Shall I start? Okay, right. I want to see the faces. Up. Left. Down. Up. Left. Right. Down. Okay. Did we commit any mistake? Any one of us commit any mistake? You commit mistake. Oh my God, तो फिर आगे क्या होगा? Okay. Now let's make it a bit difficult, because conversations are easy, communication is easy for us when the situations are easy, but communication becomes challenging when the situations are difficult. Okay, let's make it a bit difficult. Ready? Okay. So now open your ear and replace up with down, down with up. Right with left, left with right. Got my point? So when I say right, you have to turn left. When I say up, you have to turn opposite. Got it? Okay. So let's start. Okay, we are counting and let's start. Right, up, left, down, left, up, down. How many of us committed a lot of incorrection or mistakes? Please unmute yourself and say, or just raise your hand, please. Okay. I can see many of us. Why? My instructions were clear. You would be able to listen them clearly. There was no noise. Still we committed mistake. Why? Why? Tell me someone. Because we were on auto. And we think we are listening actively. Okay. Let's try it once again. Now try to give your proper, complete attention, 100% attention, and listen my instruction attentively. When I'll say right, you'll have to do left. When I'll say up, you have to do down. Notice and observe like how you are doing that. Okay. Ready? Down, down, left, up, right. Okay. So how is it? Tell me. How was it?
Wonderful.
Did we again commit mistakes?
No,
No.
Huh?
no.
Yeah, just a few mistakes or very less in numbers. We committed mistakes. Why? Because we were listening actively. So we have to develop this art to listening someone very actively, not to give reply, rather to understand that person's perspective. Okay, let's move to the next. Now, please, just let me know how we can set boundaries. Please, you guys come up with examples or sentences or like your experience, how you set boundaries or how you can set boundaries. Please unmute yourself and share. Feel free to share.
Saying no is the thing when you can set the boundary. When you say directly no, if you are disagreeing anything, if you say no, then it means that you are setting a boundary. This is the best way, I think, we can set the
Wonderful.
boundary.
Wonderful. Please, some more ideas.
May I try?
Yeah, please.
I think my office hours end at 6:30. I will not be taking any calls after 6:30. Is that very aggressive or assertive?
Sorry, Father, can you repeat, please?
Yeah. So I was saying my office hours ends at 6:30. So I will not be able to take any calls after 6:30. Would that be aggressive or assertive?
Depends how you convey that message to your boss or to your senior. So how you would
Like-
like to set boundaries?
This is an example of setting boundaries that I don't want to work after my working hours ends. So is this the right example of setting boundaries?
That's fine. I mean, you are clear what you want, what's your need. But did you convey that message clearly or in an assertive manner to your superior or to your boss? Did you try? Or you just directly said that I don't want to do this after working hours? Okay, so we'll come back to this later and we'll take it up in a Q&A session. Tell you guys some more ideas like how you set boundaries.
To know your priorities and complete the task to the realistic expectations, I can say.
Cool. Some more. It depends upon situation. Yes, you can say, yeah, after 6:30, your priority is family. Yeah, we can find a better way to communicate, to convey our message. As Chetna shared examples, and after this, we'll take some more examples. Okay, so that's so wonderful. By saying no, that we were one best wonderful idea to create healthy boundaries. Be firm while saying no, but be very polite. And to know our wants, our needs really matters. So we should keep in mind. Okay, so next is positive body language. You know, without even saying a single word, we can show our assertiveness through our body language. So please let me know what kind of body postures can show our attitude or can show our assertiveness. What the kind of body posture we should maintain while being assertive. Please unmute yourself and feel free to share. How should we maintain our body posture? Please do some brainstorming. Give what
Like
you are
stand straight can be one of the,
the stand is right.
yeah. And like a proper eye contact has to be made while,
Content. Should we stare at that person like this?
no, like not like that, but when we speak something, so we should be confident and make a proper eye contact.
Okay. What
Using
else?
using gesture can be a thing we can do. When you are talking, hand gesture, your face expression can play a vital role in that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please come up with some more ideas. How you will show your assertiveness without speaking even.
Indu, I think relaxed shoulder posture and a smile on the face always depicts that you are willing to listen to the other person, whereas maybe pointing to someone says that you are in an aggressive mode. So that's the difference there.
Okay. Okay. Acha, tell me, should we cross our legs and arms while talking to someone?
No.
Not interested.
Right? Yeah. Should we have a lot of smile on our face?
No.
No.
So should we have normal smile? Right. Wonderful, wonderful. And nodding our head. While someone is communicating with us or we are listening, so to acknowledge what they are saying, we can nod our head. Okay. So let's move to the next. Seek feedbacks. See, generally feedbacks लेना हमें किसी को पसंद नहीं होता है, but feedbacks are very important. So receive feedbacks with your open heart from your seniors, from your mentors, from your bosses, and from your colleagues. Okay. Practice empathy. How can we empathize with someone where we want to be assertive? Please share. How to show the empathy while showing assertiveness?
Properly listening when he is saying, we don't need to interrupt between his or her sentence. That can show empathy as well.
And try to understand other person's perspective as well.
Yes, like what they are feeling.
Yes. Practice empathy or showing assertiveness doesn't mean to disrespect or disregard others' opinion, others' perspective. It's just raising our voice too, politely. Okay. Okay. So you have learned the assertive communication techniques, and I know that by spending a few minutes, you won't be and we won't be assertive. But just I want you to imagine one. Next slide, please. Okay, so what this slide shows to you. Would you like to give one word for this?
Confident.
This posture?
Confident.
Confident. Else?
Additional strength.
Sorry? empowered. Okay. So I want you to imagine. So just do a visualization activity where you just visualize that now you have learned wonderful communication techniques. You understood it well, and now you are empowered with this assertiveness. And now you know how to talk someone with assertively. You are just feeling empowered. So I just want you to visualize now your office scenario. I mean, what all things will be changed at your workplace, in your life, and what all things you will be able to have. Let me know how your life will be changed after being assertive, when you are able to speak assertively with someone. What all you'll be able to handle. Please. You'll feel more confident, right? Yeah, additional strength. Let's come up with some more answers. But just try to imagine the benefit. What benefit you'll get after being assertive? How situations will change for you in your office? How will be able to work on your professional growth? We'll be able to set healthy boundaries. We'll be able to enhance our leadership skills, our communication skills. Yes, utilize opportunities. Identified as a people's person. Yeah, we'll be able to create a strong bond with our colleagues, with our boss, with our team,
and we can be able to express ourselves confidently in a good manner and a more conversational way to others.
Wonderful, wonderful. What else? What else changed? You can see in your life or in your environment. Enhance engagement, right? Improve performance and productivity. Minimize misunderstanding. Lot of benefits. Just say confident personality will lead to more opportunities and the loop goes on. Truly, absolutely. There are just a few we have discussed, but there are n number of benefits you'll be able to win after being assertive. Okay, but just come out from the visualization thing. Okay, that won't gonna happen without practice. So let's do some more practice. We have to practice this in our day-to-day life consistently, regularly. Okay, so let's do some more practice right away. And now I'll hand over to Shekha.
Thank you, Indu.
Practice.
Yeah, thank you so much. You beautifully explained the techniques of assertiveness. So, guys, let's as Indu said, let's just practice. So I have this scenario, which is also in front of you right now. So it says you have made plans to attend your best friend's birthday party. Your boss asks you to stay overtime and finish a job. Usually accept these last minute requests as you want to be on good terms with your boss, but tonight you really have to go. How would you respond to your boss? Unmute yourself. You can say it by speaking or you can write it in the chat box. I will invite him to the party too. Okay, Nipun, but let's take this condition that you cannot actually invite him to the party. Then how would you react to this situation? Anybody else?
we will react like assertiveness only. Like we can say our boss that we have plans to do today, so tonight I will not be able to do overtime, and we can shift to other days also. So that way, expressing more clearly, so that it will be not too aggressive, but also at the same time it will be assertive to the how we can communicate with the boss.
Exactly. So I would also like to answer what Ritika asked. Ritika, I guess it was you, where you asked that I will not be able, I can't work after 6:30. My shift timings ends at 6:30. So as rightly said by Somi, this is the technique called fogging. We have not covered this in the slides, but what you can do is how do we go about these kind of situations, or where you feel that I do not want to be that direct, but I have to say no. First, acknowledge the part that I know this work is important, but I have to go this time. I can cover it up maybe tomorrow. So you say, you accept whatever the request is coming in, then you put forward your point that why you can't do that, and you give the alternative. This is how you can be assertive. This is how you can say no, and this is how you cannot be aggressive at the same time. So let's have a look on what answer is there. So I understand that you want me to do the job. However, I already have made arrangements for tonight, and I really need to be somewhere else. I know how you feel about this job. If it can wait till tomorrow, I'm happy to sort it out tomorrow. So you accept the part, you accept the request a little that yes, it is important. You put forward your point that why you can't do that, and last you can suggest an alternative. So this is a good technique to say no. Among has written, I would ask my boss about the urgency of the task. Based upon this, I will prioritize my plans accordingly. I may enjoy a little late at night with friends as well. Okay, completely up to you. But what if you cannot delay that plan and you have to go there and you really want to go there? So this is what you can utilize. Okay, let's move on to some other scenarios. So for that, I would require a volunteer. Anyone who would like to volunteer? Unmute yourselves and present and tell me.
Utkarsh. He has
Utkarsh.
raised.
Utkarsh. Okay. Utkarsh, I cannot see you.
Yes, Chetna,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. So Utkarsh, this is the next scenario. Okay. It says your workload is overwhelming and a coworker approaches you to ask for your assistance with the task. You want to help them, but you also have your own deadline to meet. The coworker is known to being pushy and demanding. So we will do this role play. I will be that pushy and demanding coworker, and you are the one who has a deadline to fix. Okay. So you need to be assertive and tell everybody that how would you handle that situation. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So hi Utkarsh.
Hi, Chetna.
Okay, so Utkarsh, you know what? I need to take a leave tomorrow, but I have this report pending. I have worked 25% on it. Would you like to help me with the rest 75%?
Yeah. Chetna, like I understand, like you have completed this work and you will be not coming tomorrow, right? But the thing is that I am also engaged in some of the work. So if you can stay with me and we can do the things together so that we can manage it. But like if you say if I told you sorry, I tell you you will tell me to do this work, so it is quite difficult for me. So likewise we can do it together.
Utkarsh, I don't think I'd be able to work on this. Actually, my boss has given me another important project. I need to do that. Why can't you do it? It will only take 2 hours. Just work on it.
I understand, Chetna, but you also please understand, like I also have some stuff to do that is also important. I can just request you, like you can do it together so that we can solve both our us problem, like I said.
Good job. Very good. So we can also tell the person to seek help from somebody else. So we can first, you've rightly done that. We can acknowledge the part, then we can tell why we can't do that, and then we can offer an alternative. Good job. Okay, let's move on to the next role play. Again, I need a volunteer. Who would like to come? Next volunteer, please.
So me.
Okay. Okay, Preeti. So this is related to personal boundaries. A close friend consistently asks you for favors that intrude on your personal time and space. They are persistent in their requests and get upset when you decline. So I will be that friend, and you will have to be assertive. Shall we begin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hi, Preeti.
Hi, Chetna.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Good, good, good. You know what? I have planned a trip, an international trip, but I don't know where should I keep my pet. So why can't you keep my pet for around a week?
Oh, that's really nice to know, Chetna, that you are flying outside abroad for some vacation. You have a pet. I love pets. However, even I am visiting to my hometown to see my mom.
Oh, Preeti, but you can postpone that. Like I have already booked my tickets. You can postpone that visit and keep my pet, please.
I'm extremely sorry. Actually, I have also booked my flight tickets, and which is non-refundable.
Good job. Good. Great. Okay. So we can politely decline later on. We can wrap it up by saying that there are other friends who can take it forward. So we do not be on to that grounds. Okay, good job. Let's move on to the next role play. And I want another person to be the volunteer. Let's see. Another person. Unmute yourselves.
Tommy, why don't you do the next role play?
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. Okay. So it is in the professional setting. You have recently joined an organization and an old employee is being bossy. He's asking you to share your work with him first rather than your reporting authority. Okay. Shall we go ahead, Somi?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Somi. How are you doing?
Hi, Chetna. Yes, I'm doing well. What about you?
Good. I got to know that you are working on this recent project with a US client. Before you send it to your manager, I would like to have a see on it. So make sure that you are send it to me.
Okay, Chetna. But may I know the concern, like why you want to see that?
Because I'm an old employee and I can help you that what are the things in it. So it will be great that if you share it with me first.
Okay. So I'll share it now. What should I do then?
Okay, so that person may not have the authority to go through that task. So how would you decline that?
Okay. It's very sweet of you, Chetna, that you are very much concerned about, how I'm doing at my work. But, I keep it with my boss itself. So, he will be he is the best suitable person that go through my reportings and all, Chetna.
Okay. So let's do it this way. Mold your answer in this way. You say, I completely understand. Okay. You accept the part, whatever my demand is. And then you present the idea that why you can't do that. Okay. And then you tell an alternative. Let's follow this method. Okay. Now, how would you answer?
I completely understand your concern, Chetna. That's very wonderful to know that you are very concerned about how I'm doing at my work. But I, rather report it to my authority. That will be, very much good to go with that. But however, I appreciate your concern And yeah, thank you.
However, I appreciate your concern, and if in future I would require any help, I will certainly
Yes,
myself
good,
come to you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great job.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I will take this part over to Dr. Satyadev, who is going to go ahead with the takeaways. Over to you, Dr. Satyadev.
Thanks, Indu and Chetana, for moving all of us in depth of the subject. Very great, great. Now, takeaways. Some activity will be run for this session. Let us assume that a ball we reach and move to the ball other person by saying one takeaway. Saying one takeaway. Like that. Are you ready? It is an activity. Imagine that have received one ball. By saying one takeaway, move to other person. The other person will say one takeaway and move to another person. For whom we have to move, I will say the name. Okay? You start. Okay. Let us start with Umang Singh. You have received the ball. Umang Singh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity to me. So my biggest takeaway from this particular session was we can always be assertive and we can always express our feelings without neglecting or objecting on someone's thought.
Great.
So it was really wonderful to understand that. Thank you so much, sir.
You moved the ball to Girija Gole. Girija Gole. Is he responding? Otherwise, let us move the ball to Sobam.
Okay, so today I have learned a very good difference between assertive and aggressive, and how we can avoid to be aggressive, how we can be more assertive, and what was the 3 C's in assertive communication as well.
Excellent, excellent. Next, move the ball to Nipun Sharma. Nipun Sharma.
Yes, my takeaway is that instead of being passive, I should be more assertive in most things.
Excellent. Move the ball to Ritika. Ritika, madam. Ritika. Otherwise, Swami Sharma.
Yes, my takeaway from this session will be, how to deliver our message clearly without any emotional noise. That is very important.
Excellent, excellent. Move your ball to Preeti Bosmati. Preeti Bosmatari.
Not to be aggressive, while conveying a message. Rather, what we call in Hindi ghuma fira ke, twisting the ball and then say it proper, in a very sweet tone, so that the opposite person also understands.
Okay, move your ball to Bhavana Karki. Bhavana Karki. Yes, yes, sir. We already, you say once again.
Yeah, so my takeaway is how we can use assertive communication to avoid conflict in day-to-day situations.
Well, final ball move to our Anjay. Anjay.
So communication should be direct, and there's so we need to understand what the person is saying, and we should convey our message clearly to them without emotional noise. So that is my takeaway. Thank you.
Great, great. Well, by concluding all of these, the major takeaways are: express confidently and clearly our voice, setting healthy boundaries to establish better relationships, to reduce our anxiety or stress, enhancing self-esteem, enhancing self-awareness, handle conflicts in a constructive manner, being empathetic, protecting our rights, use I statements, be clear and specific in our conversations, using positive body language, focus on solutions. Okay, friends, let us go for next slide for asking questions. For questions session.
Okay, anybody having any questions? Three of us are ready to answer.
I have a question, Chetna, like the thing that I learned today from this session, like assertiveness, so how to implement that? See, we learned it, we start implementing it, but at the some time it stops. So how to make it continuously improving this kind of thing in our life so that it can be like, we can be a better human being, you can say. Like, so
Okay.
like how continuation can be made with this?
Okay. So whenever you are in a situation where you feel that you want to say no, or you want to take stand for yourself, there is a fear inside. कि छोड़ो, let's क्या बोलना है, रहने देते हैं. So in that situation, you need to identify that, and you need to keep one thing in mind, that I will do what I can do for myself. Other person's reaction, not my responsibility. Other person, how he or she is going to take that, not my responsibility. I will take it for myself. So when we understand that fear inside of us, and then we start acting bigger than that fear, we can take it continuously. And when we'll see result for ourselves, it will be rewarding.
So what if like other person is taking my assertiveness into aggressiveness? Like
in that situation, you need to be calm.
Okay.
Because we need to understand what things we can control. We can control, you can control your reaction. You can control how you take things personally or not. You can control what things you can work on. How the other persons are taking you, not your responsibility, out of your control. Leave that burden. If the other person is taking it aggressively, taking it personally, not your responsibility. Just focus on your own self. That's
Actually,
it.
these things are happening in my life. That's why, like, from this session, I learned so many things, like how to communicate like assertively with the people. It is something really learning point of mine today.
We are very glad
You
to
will
know
become
that.
more successful person. Okay.
Would like to add something in this, like what else you can do. Sometimes it's very challenging when we want to have conversation with our boss, with our colleagues, and don't know how to share our feelings or how to put what we want to say to them. As Somi shared that, I don't want to work after my working hours, but you have to say it in a right manner. You have to say it assertively without hurting them. So I'm sharing with my own experience. Whenever you find any conversation very challenging, before that, write your bullet point, because sometimes we ourselves feel very confused what you want to say. We go to them, want to say our point, but we just come back by saying something else. We couldn't put, but words are not coming from our mouth. Sometimes it happens. So what to do? Write your points in bullets, and if the conversation is really very challenging, you can practice it once, no matter what I will speak, how I will speak. If boss say this thing to me, then what would be my reply to him? And how and visualize the situation like it's ending very politely in the win-win situation. Solution has come up with win-win situation. Okay, boss agreed on some of my points, and I also compromise somewhere. Not so much compromise, but just try to make balance so you can practice it. And also, if you really want to check your communication style, if sometime when we talk to your boss, colleague, or friend on phone, and if you have recording, so you can listen your recording, your own recording, and then you can check how I speak and how I'm communicating. And you will find yourself कि इस टाइम तो मुझे ये नहीं, मुझे ये बोलना चाहिए था, और इस बात को मुझे ऐसे नहीं, मुझे ऐसे बोलना चाहिए था, शायद मैंने गलत तरीके से बोल दिया इसलिए सामने वाले ने मेरी बात नहीं मानी. So you can listen your own conversation. I hope it helps.
Good. Any questions? Any
Okay.
questions from anybody?
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much for giving us a wonderful session. Thank you, Indu. Thank you, Chetna. Thank you, Satyadev, for the wonderful session. Yeah, so I think we can wrap up. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Anjay.
all.
Thank you so much, Somi,
Thanks
Utkarsh,
for
Girja, and a lot of others for asking a lot of questions and
encourages.
participation throughout the web. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was nice session.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day to all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
all.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye
lovely
bye.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe. Bye bye.
Assertive.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.